Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Investing Bros. I'm Army Piper, filling in for TA Tim today, who's doing his dad thing today. Young Brody at home with the family, and Tim is he's doing some dad stuff. You know, he's got those late nights and hard to get up in the morning, so he wanted to take another day, but he will be back to rock it hard all next week. But I'm not here alone. I'm not by myself. We've got my co-host today in the house with me, T Shroom. How are you doing, my brother?
Oh man, Piper, I gotta say, I know a lot of people wouldn't expect this, but I'm doing better than I deserve.
I'm
So
shocked.
that's
I'm totally shocked.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild stuff. So I do have a quote of the day, and it's going to be a Memorial Day quote because we will not be live on Memorial Day. We're going to be taking the day off to remember the fallen. Here is the quote. Honor to the soldiers and the sailors everywhere who bravely bears this country's cause. Honor also to the citizens who cares for his brother in the field and serves as best he can. The same cause honor to him, less only than to him who braves for the common good the storms of heaven and the storms of battle. Abram Lincoln.
Did you say Abram Lincoln?
I did.
Abram, like a tank? That's
Abram
a different
Lincoln.
person. All right, well, that's a great quote, man. And yeah, absolutely. This weekend, I will be honoring my fallen comrades that I've had. So, and all those before. So that's yeah, good quote there today, brother. Good quote. Good quote. We do have some headlines coming in today. T-Shroom, you want to break down a little bit of what we can expect in our news headlines today?
Absolutely. Well, you don't need to go to my screen. We're going to be getting into some of the latest headlines from the debt ceiling. Uh, NPR has provided 3 ways to protect your money if the U.S. defaults on its debt. So NPR is going to help us out a little bit this morning. Can't wait to see what the good folks over there at the National Public Radio Service have to think about your personal finances. Got some news from Binance releasing a new product, and it has to do with NFTs. The World Economic Forum weighing in on crypto regulation. Some strange freezing of accounts in New York. Piper and I couldn't really get our heads around it. Maybe the chat
Yeah,
can help us a little
little
later.
little difficult there.
And then Elon Musk coming out with some some mind blowing new technology that's now approved by the FDA.
Well, hopefully it's
So
not mind blowing.
we'll see.
We'll
All
see.
right,
Let's go ahead and
well,
jump into
yeah,
let's go ahead and jump into see who all we had here in the chat this morning. I'm looking and seeing here, I believe it was a mellow fellow coming in first this morning with a good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Yeah, happy Friday to everyone out there, man. We had Crypto Set Guy come in right afterwards with the blue wrench and a hey. So shout out to him. Then we also got, let's see here. We got Crypto Trades in the house today. Always glad to see him in here. Eric Wallen, he said Piper jinxed my Bitcoin. I could have had a Lambo night by now. So win Lambo is not my fault, Eric. I apologize. But Bitcoin actually down quite a bit today. I think it's down like 24% this morning. So crypto pew pew cruise in the house today. Ninja Glock in here. Let's go. Rick Wilson is said one day I'll be the top of the list. Rick Wilson, the fact that you're here every day, you're in the top of the list every day for me, just so you know. Let's see here. Mike Lowry in the house today saying 3-day weekend and a payday week. Let's go. All right. I like it. Let's get it. Let's get that. Of course, I have 7-day weekends now. I just sit at home and trade and grind through stuff for Chart Prime and the Investing Bros. So, who else do we have today? Gia S came in today with the good morning, good morning, good morning, all crunched together. So she must have been very excited, too excited to even put spaces in there. So, let's see, CBD Sunny in here. He said bots chat first. Yeah, absolutely. Those bots. Crypto JMP in the house. Mike Play. We got Joe Nickel in here. Josh Denham, OBC. Uh, man, I don't want to butcher this name. Monolito Guya. I hope I got that right. Nailed it, I think. D Jenny from the blockchain. Shout out to D Jenny from the blockchain. Always in here showing the love around the community space. So always good to see him. Max PP, I think I said that one already. Jen Foster Crypto said, let's dump. Well, we'll see. We might have some data that came in today on the macroeconomic side that might indicate that that is coming. Troy King, Territory Manager, Moose International. What a name and what a presence with the GM in here this morning. Mitch Shaw, Justin Eubanks, Crimson Caravan Company. I think I'm getting through them all. This is great. Elo Brown, many things approved by the FDA in the last couple of years that didn't work out. Just saying. Very true. And King D, that's what he wants, is a 7-day weekend. Thank you guys for joining us here. I think I got through all the names, but if I didn't get your name, it doesn't mean that we don't love you. It just means that we got to get into this content. And I think we're going to kick it off right off the bat, getting into some macroeconomic news, T-Shroom. Let's go ahead and jump over to my screen. Let's do that.
Some hot prints. Hot prints.
That's right. Hot data prints, getting that alpha here. So we came in this morning, guys, looking at durable goods month over month. We were at 3.3% month over month previously. The consensus was that it would be down by 1%. The forecast was down, it would be down 1.1%. We actually came in up 1.1%. What this is, for those that don't know, durable goods, this is the new orders for U.S. manufacturer of durable goods. So a lot of people are ordering a lot of stuff right now on the manufactured side, which means demand is coming up. You guys remember supply and demand, big factor in inflation, right? Personal spending month over month. This is the demand side, right? Where we are seeing personal spending month over month up 0.8%, almost a full percent. It was actually projected to be at 0.4% with a forecast of 0.3%, came in double the consensus, which means people are spending more money now. When we have these durable goods orders that are up and people are spending more money now, that tells you that we have a lot of demand starting to flow in. It is my projection that we're actually going to see a tightening now of more hawkishness from the Fed, in my opinion, because this leads to inflation not going down, guys. Personal income month over month did come in at consensus a little bit higher. So people are making a little bit more money and obviously they are spending it up here as we saw. But let's take a look at the core PCE price index from month over month, guys. The personal consumption expenditure prices in the U.S. rose more than expected in April, reinforcing bets that the Federal Reserve will commit to its hawkish stance and leave rates elevated for a prolonged period. Core PCE, which excludes food and energy costs, increased 0.4% month over month in April of 2023. Last month, above market expectations of that 0.3, which I already showed you. The annual rate, the Federal Reserve's preferred gauge to measure inflation, unexpectedly accelerated to 4.7%. Compared with market expectations of 4.6, the headline PCE also came up 0.4% and was up 4.4% from a year ago, higher than the March rate of 4.2. So not looking too good there on that front. Let's go ahead and jump over, show you what Truflation is saying today. Truflation, starting to give me a little bit of doubts here because this is actually still says it's coming down. And that might be the case. However, pause for effect. I think that what we're going to see from this PCE data come in today, that this is going to start to head back up towards 3. And how is this going to affect the CME and what we're expecting over there for, let me get rid of that box. Get out of here, box. For the rate hike, well, let's take a look here, guys. Coming down very quickly, and we are getting back in line with that possibility of a 25 basis point hike on June 14th. So not looking good there. Let's go ahead and check July, see how July is going to look out here. July now says, guys, hold on. Let me go back here and look. I got to make sure I'm reading this right. Yeah, it is looking very heavily. Wow, that just now updated. Yeah, guys, we are now looking at a higher rate percentage right now, real time. This just happened. 58.5% chance that we will see 25 basis point rate hike next month. I told you this PCE data was not good for this here, and there we go. We're now seeing it in real time. 58.5% chance of a 25 basis point hike this month in June coming up. In July, we're looking at a 50.5% chance of that rate hike. Not looking like a pause there unless we get this in the month in June. Then we'll probably see a pause in July. But as of right now, it looks like June or July, we will see a rate hike. Let's get into September. Showing the same thing here, guys. Higher likelihood of a rate hike again there in September. Does not look like we get into a pause until, is that November? Yeah, be November the first time that we have the higher likelihood of a pause. Of course, if any of these months that I'm showing you here, June, July, September, come in with that 25 basis point rate hike, it could cause the rest of them to be pauses. But as of right now, guys, it looks like we could see a rate hike coming in the next quarter, June, July, or September. Very likely because of this PCE demand going up. People are spending money, and that's not good. Let's go ahead and jump over. Check out the liquidations here this morning, guys. I want to come over here. Let's get this 24-hour one clicked in here. There we go. Looking at only $10 million in liquidations only 10 million, T-Shroom, only $10 million in liquidations on Bitcoin, 3.3 million of that being longs, 6.6 million being shorts. So we're starting to see the shorts get liquidated more than the longs on that. Looking at Ethereum, about $8.19 million in liquidations there. Most of them been on Binance. And it looks like Render, the big loser right now on the real-time liquidation. So that's what we're seeing there. Yeah, that's it. That's what I got for that. Let's jump back over to you and let's talk about this this potential for a rate hike, because this is new news for all of us because of what we've been tracking. So what do you think about that, T-Shroom?
Yeah, I think it is going to be another rate hike, and I don't think the market's priced it in. That's really the question: is how much downside there's going to be, how much repricing there needs to be for assets across the board, especially risk assets. So I think today at market open, we'll see the indexes open sharply lower. I will be surprised if that's not the case. I think we're also going to see that because of how much Nvidia led the market to go higher, especially the Nasdaq. I think the Nasdaq will get hit the hardest. So we shall see. As far as Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think that they'll continue to correlate with the stock market, and they'll probably see some repricing to the downside. This could be, the big thing, the big catalyst to bring us back down to 25K. So we'll see. We'll
It
see.
absolutely could be. Yeah, I'm looking here. Let me jump over to my charts here. I'm looking at my four screener, and hey, shout out to Ihachi. Tobias, what's up, brother? He said, Yo, Army, what's up? Just doing my thing here, man. Looking here at the Dixie guys, you can see this data came in this morning. Let me move something over here. There we go. This data came in this morning on the Dixie. That's his top left corner right here. And we came in right off of the dynamic reactor and then pumped up there. So yeah, we are getting a move on the Dixie, getting a little bit of rejection there on that lower trade band. But as of right now, not really having too much impact on the markets. Even the S&P futures right now is actually pumping back up. It hit here, had a big, nice wick down, pulled back up, and then bam, there it took off. So let's go ahead and jump over. Check out Bitcoin here on the new Chart Prime Pro indicators. I got the Market Oracle Pro up here, and we're going to take a look and see what we're working with on here
Let's
on
get the drum
Bitcoin right
roll.
now. Get that drum
Drum roll.
roll. New indicators. Love it, man. I've been playing with these. A lot of new things going on here. So, guys, what we have here, looking at 4-hour Bitcoin, currently coming in at 26,479, well underneath the new dynamic reactor here, and well underneath this right here. This is called a trend assist, just so you guys are tracking. Prime Trend Assistant. It tells you, gives a nice bounce points for, like, for example, here we can see that we weren't breaking this green line after we had a sell indicator, and it was a good point coming off of this for support. Well, right now we have this resistance coming in from the Prime Trend Assistant right above it here, which is going to be coming in at about 26,800 or 900, somewhere in that range. So even if we do get a pump up, it is very likely that we could get a rejection off of that. Let's go ahead and check out what else we got going on in here. Let's check out the prime ranges. I want to turn off the Prime Trend Assistant here. Let's see what the Prime Trend ranges are looking like here. on the prime ranges are looking like here as soon as it loads in. There we go. Yeah, we're coming in right now off of this range. And what these are much like the predictive ranges that we have, that we still have. I'll show you those in a minute. But right now, this is a trend range that is pretty much like the trade pocket for predictive ranges, but this prime range runs dynamic in range to the price action. And we're getting a lot of bounce off of that right now. Previous bounce on it before also previously. So even if we do come back up here on Bitcoin, break this 236 on the fib, which is coming in at about 27,300, get past this dynamic reactor. Also, that would also get us past that prime trend assistant that I was showing you right in that same range. We do have this prime range that's going to be coming in right here at about 28,000 that I would be watching for on resistance also. Let's go ahead and bring in the Market Dynamics Pro and see what we have here. Get onto the overlay so I can start removing a little bit of stuff, and let's see what we have here. Looking at the prime ranges right now, guys, we are right below the upper trade band of the predictive ranges here on the 4-hour and above the delta. Right now, this is our predictive ranges here, guys. I talk about them all the time, but these are new and improved. Little bit more accuracy coming out of them. And then also I can go in here and let's go check out what we see here on these predictive ranges. It's on a chart right now. Let's go and check the daily, or actually let's check the 12-hour initially, because our predictive ranges are now multi-time frame. There we go. We're going to be sitting above that trade range there, and that trade range could be where we come to for a bounce here, which is coming in at about 24,775, getting us in line with what you were talking about earlier, T-Shroom, that we could see this could be the catalyst to get us into the 25,000 range right there, coming in on that predictive range on the multi-time frame, 12-hour predictive range on the 4-hour chart. So yeah, that's what I have there.
Crypto TA.
Yep,
Ready for that
TA.
transition.
Sorry. Yeah, let me get that in there. My bad.
No worries. No worries.
So yeah, that's what I'm seeing there on the
Tim's
predictive
fault.
ranges. It was Tim's fault. It was because he's not here to say this is what we're going to. We do have the swing fail pattern that printed here, guys, and that pretty much called our top on this upper predictive range here of the 12 hours. So we do have now coming in on that. I want to pull up in here and let's get rid of the predictive ranges here. And I want to show you what we got on order blocks right now. Looking at the macro, we do have one order block coming into play right now on the 4-hour. Let's check the 12 and see what this is looking like. I do believe we are going to have we got an order block below us too. So looking here on the order blocks, we got a medium strength order block, still has medium levels of liquidity in it. That's above us for sell orders, and that's going to be coming in right about 30,000. So even if we do get up and past those levels that we were talking about, it's going to be heavy resistance there. Also going to be previously our swing failure pattern here. Looking here at the low order block, it's going to be coming in at about 20,200. Guys, I've been talking about that 20,000 range for a while, based on the that fib channels and stuff like that. So not looking the most promising there, although the new Trend Fusion oscillator down here on the Oscillators Pro is going to be showing us an uptick on the oscillator ribbon down here, but we're still in the red, and it has not said that we have a trend change yet, although we do have on our traditional oscillator a bullish divergence and a peak seeker. So Bitcoin is seeing a little bit of promise right now, but there's a lot of resistance on top of us. Let's go ahead, jump down into Ethereum and see what we're seeing over here. Put this back on the 4-hour and let's ride this into the storm. Kick that in. Let's get this. Nope, not that. I want the other fib retracement. Thank you very much. Sitting right now on the fib retracements, we just rejected on this candle off of the 786 here, coming in at 1825, perfectly giving us a rejection on that fib line. We do have the daily close here at 1805 right now. That is going to be a little bit of support for us for a daily range for the close yesterday. But again, squeezed right now between a very high liquidity rate, high level of possible rejection right now on this order block, which is going to be coming in at about 1865. But we do have really strong support here on the lower level, coming in at about 1771. So that would be the range that I'm looking for in here. If we do get this 786 786 rejection here. Look for this order block to come back into play for more liquidity grabs. If we do break this and get support off that 786, be watching for that 1860 range for order block liquidity grabs there, grabbing whatever people have their stop losses set up here off of this wick. So that's what I'm seeing on that. On the money flow side, this light blue line right here that you guys are seeing, this is the money flow, and the money flow does look like it's about to flip up on Ethereum. Let me check and see what it is on the 4-hour for Bitcoin, see if we're starting to get that over there also. Yeah, it looks like we're getting the money flow kicking up here also on the trend-based oscillator. So money flow does show that we have a little bit coming in, but we're getting some confliction here. Hence why we have this prime score of 2 here and consolidation of 2. Very low decisiveness there. When this prime score starts closing up to the range of 10, that means that you've got a lot of indicators showing confluence in conjunction in the same direction. Right now, sitting very low out of 2. Consolidation sitting very low out of 2. Markets are very indecisive right now, and I would guess that that has to do with the fact that we have the debt ceiling stuff, and we're going to talk about that later in the show. So let's go check out ADA and check out let's see what Cardano is doing here. Yep, there it is, guys. I was talking yesterday when I showed this that we have a lot of resistance down here below us, a lot of support down here below us. It looks like we almost wicked down to the line that I had here from yesterday. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. And I will show you what we have right now. You can see that we did have a couple of wick ups hitting that value area low that I said would be resistance yesterday. And that's what we still have going on there right now, pinned between this order block right here, and then also pinned between that value area low. What I am concerned about, guys, is that this order block that we have is showing a low liquidity now. So most of the liquidity has been grabbed out of this. It is very possible that if we break this, we could keep going down because there's not much liquidity here. So if we come back down into it, could be very possible that we're coming back down into it to go right through it. Looking at right here, you can see that we do have that prime ranges there that I was talking about earlier coming in at about 34.7 cents. Very likely could come down that far, grabbing liquidity from this, breaking through this and creating a breaker block here. But if we do get a bounce off of this and we can continue up, we've got to get through this value area low. We've got to get through that prime range, that point of control. We have so many things here that are resistance on Cardano right now, and it's not looking very strong. Even this morning with ETH being up 0.6%, ADA is down 1.1%, 11/100ths, if you will, and continuing to drop as we're speaking right now. Let's go ahead and jump over into XRP, because XRP has actually had some movement today. XRP is now currently up 2.5% from this bottom here this morning, and we have had a move coming in looking like we're trying to retest our 50% here on our fib lines. I would say almost that we probably could have had, this could have been a front run on this 618 here on the golden pocket, and that's why it wicked down that close without touching it. A lot of people front running, trying to get into a long, and if they did that on XRP, congratulations on you for that, giving you a little bit of profit uptick there, currently coming in at about 46.5 cents. So looking at the oscillators, a little bit of concern here on this curvature of the ribbon. This does indicate that we could see this pull back down, but it may pull in and give us a nice bounce on that 0 line, giving us a chance to consolidate here, creating a bullish pennant or a bull flag. Money flow is coming up on it, and the trend has changed to green, guys. So XRP looking more bullish this morning than a lot of the other cryptos in the market. Matic looks like we have a move here. Nice big wick up there and a pullback. Let's see what that's hitting on. Yeah, that hit on the one of these upper ranges here on the prime ranges, and we do have a prime score of 9, guys. So right now there is a lot of confluence with the buy indicator on the 4-hour, despite us being showing here on the old oscillator, the prime oscillator, that we do have an overbought right now. But if you look down here at what we're seeing on the why did you do that? Don't do that. I hit the wrong button. Don't do that. Okay, let me get back into that. I hit the delete button. I did not mean to delete off my candles there. Sorry about that, folks. We do have the buy indicator, but we do have great money flow here, guys. Even though we're in the overbought range right now on the oscillator, you can see the money flow is starting to break the zero here. The trend is still coming up. Might be possible that we get a little pullback here, but now that we're above some of these other ranges of resistance, I do think that we could see these now being retested as support. So, and not a whole lot in the area here to even keep us from getting back up there. We do have this range right here where we just rejected from, but if we can come back up and prove this as support, we've got a nice free zone all the way back up into about 108 to 109. So that's what I'm seeing there on Matic. I do want to take one last coin here to take a look at. Let's drop to a lower time frame, and let's go ahead and pull up Bitcoin down 25% this morning, guys. I told you guys yesterday that I would not feel comfortable getting into Bitcoin yesterday morning because of the levels that it was at with that big run up, that it was very likely that we would see a pullback, and that is what we're seeing right now. Let's grab a fib channel here, or Fibonacci retracement. I mean, let's pull it up to the top here and see what we're doing. Yeah, it looks like right now, guys, we're getting support on the 50. Anything above the 50% on a fib, you can consider that it's in a bullish zone of the Fibonacci range there. But it is very possible and likely that we're going to come back down to retest the 618. If we can hold that as support on the golden pocket, then that's where I would be looking at for some DCA if you missed your opportunity on this run up, because it's very possible it may create a new higher low and go up from there. But we'll have to wait and see what happens when we get down into that range. Remember, we're going into a 3-day weekend, so the price action can get very volatile and can mess with you on a horrible level. So be careful with that. I do not want to see you guys get wrecked because you did not heed the warnings. Not financial advice, but you got to be careful. Got to be careful, guys. T-Shroom, I'm going to kick it back over to the Brocam.
All right. Very good. I appreciate the warning there. I could have been doing anything over here. And
I can see you on my camera. I got you.
could have been embarrassing.
Yeah, I only do that when you're drinking coffee, man.
All right. Yeah. Well, things are looking uncertain. After digesting a little more and taking a look around the markets, I mean, the SQQ, so the main ETF to short the Nasdaq, is actually opening up lower. So that's a contrary to what I said before, interpreting the PCE data, that the markets would actually open up higher. Let's see. The S&P is opening up high, is predicted to be opening up higher. You can actually go to my screen for this if you want. I'm just kind of zooming around looking at the pre-market movement. See the Nasdaq. This one doesn't have a pre because it's futures, but the futures on the Nasdaq are up. Dow Jones, same thing. I had to open up a bunch of new ones today, but you can see here the SQQ, which is an inverse of the Nasdaq, is opening up lower. So I know it's a double negative there, but a better way to show it is that the triple leverage to the upside of the Nasdaq is up higher. That's the TQQ, the Ultra. So you can see up here, Ultra Pro. So why would this be happening? Why would the market be getting bought? Well, here's my prediction. There's a couple of different reasons why. Not really a prediction. Here's the explanations. There could be whales trying to confuse the market with this data, right? There could be whales coming in and making it look like the market's gonna be getting bought, so that they can keep a lower rate on put options on the indexes and on different assets across the board. Could be something like that, or it could be an anticipation of, hey, we're about to have a major anxiety-inducing event go bullishly, which is the debt ceiling. We're going to get to that a little bit later in the show. But more than likely, that is going to go in a bullish direction. They're going to pass a debt ceiling bill, and if they don't, then we'll all be immediately nuked, right? Or something crazy is going to happen. So they're going to pass that, and that's going to be very bullish for the market because there is a certain amount of cash that's waiting on the sideline to see what happens with that story, with the debt ceiling story. So
for sure,
let's go ahead and get into market open here.
Community.
No, well, the market's open. We got to see how they're reacting to PCE. We'll get to community. Community needs to go after the market open, I think.
Hey,
We'll see.
I
We'll
just
see.
built what you guys told me to build. You go ahead and start the market open then.
We'll see. I think this is Tim's fault. This has got to be Tim's fault. All right. I kind of don't care about energy, but I mean, ultimately, it's opening up higher. Natural gas and oil are both higher. Up natural gas up quite a big percent there, and all the indexes are green. So my initial prediction, kind of reaction there from the PCE print is manifesting in the opposite direction this morning. So that's what we get. Nasdaq opening up zero point 0.3, S&P opening up 0.2, and Dow Jones up 0.2 to the upside. Nasdaq leading there. So we'll keep moving here. Crypto green across the screen. Bitcoin up 0.06, so barely moved on the session, and then Ethereum up 0.7. So yeah, the market in the first couple minutes at least is bucking the trend, is bucking the expectations, and saying, hey, CPE or PCE, we don't care. AGIX giving back some of those gains from yesterday, had a big tear, and now is giving back some of those back down at the delta line here, and at the the delta line. So we'll keep moving. It's actually finding support right here at the trend. I cannot remember the name of the new one. Sorry, guys. Here, let me see if I can find it really quickly. The prime range. So right here at the prime range, right here at 27, 0.27 for AGIX, finding some good support there. All right, moving on into our metals. I'm a little rusty with these new indicators. I gotta learn them a little bit better, but they are really cool. Silver up 1%, and so 1.3% silver's up, and then gold is up 0.4. Your mega cap tech stocks are probably all green here, except Google and Microsoft getting sold off a little bit here. Maybe those could be early indications of what's going to happen the rest of the day to the market. Not so sure. Amazon is leading the market here, up 1.2%. All right. And NVIDIA giving back some of those gains yesterday, as expected. NVIDIA just having an absolutely monster day. Look at that freaking gap, Piper. Can you see that? That is insane. It got up as high as 29% yesterday, NVIDIA, from the previous close, and closed, let's see, that's still the 25th. So it closed up to about 26. So it closed about where it gapped in the morning. It tested as low as up 19%, 19.8. But now it's giving back those gains and trying to test a little bit lower, although it hasn't even cleared the wick from yesterday. So I'm on the 4-hour chart. That's why you're getting 2 candlesticks per day. All right, so moving along here, let's see the yield, the bond yields. They should be reacting, and they are. So yields here are higher, especially on the 2-year, continuing to tick up to 4.5% here, guys, on the 2-year. Your benchmark 10-year note is up 0.4% as well. And the Dixie is slightly down. So slightly down here on that PCE news. Cannabis, whoa, Tilray getting slaughtered today, down 21%. That might be a glitch because it's not even coming through on the charts. So we can ignore that for now. Doesn't really matter. Moving on into the mid-cap tech stocks here, you're seeing Snow continue to get sold off. It had a big sell-off yesterday, and is continuing to get sold off. Had a gap down. It almost looks like the reverse of NVIDIA. I don't know what's going on, but maybe they had a contract with NVIDIA, or they were competing for a contract or something, or maybe they. What does Snowflake even do? I can't remember. So
I am not sure what Snowflake does.
yeah. But anyway, they're continuing to sell off more. They're now getting repriced back to levels that we haven't seen since the beginning of May. So they've given back all their gains from May. They got up to around 24% to the upside. They've given all that back. Snowflake has. But Robinhood, Coinbase, both getting bought. C3.ai getting bought here, up 3.4%. Impressive. And your big banks are mixed, and oil is mixed. So honestly, scratching my head here because it doesn't really add up. We had a miss on the PCE print, and yet your indexes are getting bought here. My guess is I'm going to stand by logic and reason. I'm going to say that more than likely the market is still going to close red this morning. I'm going to put a poll in chat and see if you guys agree. We'll actually, Piper, could you put a poll in chat and see if see what folks are thinking.
I
Perhaps there's some.
I don't I only have editor rights, so I can't put a
Oh,
poll
okay,
in. Yeah, you'll have to do
okay,
it. You didn't give me enough permissions, you know.
okay. All right. Well, if there's a, all right. Well, we'll skip that then. All right, no worries. So yeah, I mean, so we can go to Brocam and kind of chat about this a little bit before we get into the stories. We got a lot of the stories, um, but what's going on here, Piper? Is this just a bunch of day traders kind of hitting the bong and going the opposite way on accident, or are the banks trying to pull one over, or what's going on? Why are
I
the indexes? Why is crypto green today?
I don't know, and I actually gotta show you something that we have going on here right now. Let me give me a second to, get this adjusted over here, and I'll show this to you. Because it's a little odd on the charts too, bro. Um, you can see here the Dixie is pumping like crazy, like from the data this morning when it came out. I'm on 30-minute charts on all of this. S&P is in a fight to go up and down. Bitcoin's in a fight to go up and down. Ethereum is going up. Like it's very, very odd what is going on right now with the Dixie moving and everything moving in that same direction, or at least trying to. So it
Hmm.
looks like the Bulls and the Bears are in the middle of a volatility fight right now as we speak. So,
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting. I logic and reason would tell us that markets should sell off today, but here's what it could be. It could be that banks were anticipating a loss, anticipating a miss in PCE, and they were anticipating a much higher margin of loss and of missing. So maybe this is actually a bullish print for a lot of analysts out there.
yeah,
I'm
it's
not
very
really sure.
possible. Very
Yeah.
possible. Yeah. Hey, Rick Wilson said I should have pulled rank on you. I can do that for about another month or so, and then when T-Shroom graduates from OCS, he will be an officer and outrank my lowly first sergeant rank. So, yeah,
Well,
I can only
I'll
pull
tell.
rank so much.
No, you've got a lot longer than that. I don't get pinned until like probably a year from now, if
Oh,
not
well,
more.
fix my permissions, T-Shroom. Knife hands, throwing knife hands at you. There we go. Hey, Crimson
I will.
Caravan Company said he figured out what Snowflake is. Snowflakes complain about how unfair life is. So there you go. That's from Crimson Caravan Company. So, hey guys, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button yet, you guys need to do so. We've got a lot more viewers than likes right now. So go ahead, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. T-shirt. Let's jump into community real fast and then head over to headlines.
Heck yeah, let's do it. Just really quick, Snowflake is a cloud computing based cloud company based in, that's literally what it says. I don't know why Google, but based in Bozeman, Montana. All right, so they do cloud computing.
Absolutely.
Yes. So community guys, the big thing to note is that there's not going to be a Monday show. So, you can start your own show on Monday, right? Or, we'll probably be active on Twitter. We'll probably be doing some different things. But guys, go spend some time with loved ones. There's been a lot of people who have fought and died, and loved ones who have had, brothers and sisters and moms and children who have died for your right, and for your right to kind of spend time with loved ones on that day, on Monday, on Memorial Day. So that's kind of the big one, is not going to have a show on Monday for observance of Memorial Day. Also, the bros just need a break. We need a rest. Piper and I have been tapping in, and it's time for a little bit of a rest on Monday. So, what do you
Yes.
got? What do you got for us, Piper?
I don't know if you noticed or not, but I got market open and community switched there already on the banner, so that's all
Nice,
fixed. I did that while you were speaking behind the scenes.
excellent.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I do, man. Yeah, I'm going to be this weekend. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff in the community, probably dropping in to show people what I'm seeing on how to use these new indicators. Try to get everybody spun up on that. But if you guys want these new indicators, prices get ready to go up to like $67 for the monthly. It's moving up. If you're already got it, then you're locked in, you're grandfathered. But if you don't, you need to get it before the price goes up. Check down below to get that link, 45% off. It helps the investing bros out. If you're going to get it anyways, if you're wanting to get it, you might as well use the investing bros link so that help out the community here. So man, hey, some stuff's going on. I got to pull over here to the charts. I know we're talking about community, but the
Make it
community
happen.
needs to know this. Uh,
Whoa.
the S&P futures, Bitcoin and Ethereum are just taking off right now. So it is absolutely just saying, I'm going to do what I want. I'm doing what I want. It's being a very rebellious teenager right now. So there you go. I don't know why it's pumping like this. Bitcoin not pumping at all like Ethereum is, but the Dixie, even with its pull up there, when we look at that four screener, you can see everything's just pushing away, even though the Dixie's on its way up. So weirdness and volatility in the markets today, people. Be careful. Please be
Hmm.
careful. So
Yeah. A lot of volatility here, guys. Very interesting movements in the markets. Again, I think this has to do with either the banks were overestimating the miss. And so, this is actually a bullish print for the banks and for institutional money, big money that's moving the market here in the first couple minutes. Or, they're trying to manipulate the market a little higher so they can get a juicier short position to go ahead and short the fear that is now in the market for a fresh set of hikes to be expected throughout the rest of the year. So
yeah,
let's go ahead and get into the stories unless there's anything else
there
community
is.
wise we want to
There is.
bring.
I'm actually getting a text message right now from Tim that I may be on around the blockchain tonight.
Oh, cool.
Because Tim's not going to be able to do it. So yeah, I may be filling in for Tim tonight on around the blockchain.
Hey, there you
Got to get
go.
it. So yeah, I'll let you guys know in the Discord and tell you guys if I am going to be over there or not. But that might be happening tonight. But now it's time for T Shroom and the headlines. Let's go.
Excellent. Yeah, let's do it, guys. So we're going to start off with this debt ceiling story, and we're going to do what we've been doing and what I've really enjoyed, which is just Googling debt ceiling and seeing what the headlines say. So we're going to start with the NBC News debt ceiling live updates. Talks continue towards breaking impasse. U.S. money market fund sees big inflow amid debt ceiling caution. Uh, we're going to get to this in a second. 3 money tips in case debt ceiling talks fail. Potential debt ceiling deal starts to take shape on debt as deadline looms. Debt ceiling crisis. What did stocks do last time? The U.S. Okay, that's a read along story there. All right. So pretty much, just more of the same. Things are unchanged. There's definitely not a deal yet, but GOP conservatives fume over possible debt ceiling compromise. GOP has already won the debt ceiling standoff, says CNN. The Guardian says U.S. debt ceiling compromise expected soon amid questions whether a deal can be reached. All right, so let's go ahead and jump over and listen to what does NPR have to say about what you should do to prepare for a debt crisis. So 3 ways to protect your money if the U.S. defaults on its debt. There's no better entity better equipped than a government-funded news organization to tell you what you should do with your money. So let's listen. These are the tried and true basics: tamping down on excess spending, making a budget, shoring up emergency savings to cover at least 3 months of living expenses. Okay, so that's their first tip. And then don't panic, guys. NPR does not want you to panic. God forbid you would panic in this time. The losses could seem significant, but for those who are diversified in portfolios, who aren't nearing retirement, investment experts advise that you just stay the course. So just go ahead and hold on to your 401k and just don't panic. And then their final tip here is act fast or postpone big purchases. Are you thinking of buying a car or a home? Go ahead and do it right now, or expect not to do it for a while. So those are your tips there from NPR. Doesn't say anything about gold. Doesn't say anything about Bitcoin, and that kind of goes to show kind of what the level of sophistication the folks over there at NPR are operating at. I will say though, well, there is a show on NPR. What's it called? Money. I can't remember what it is, but it is good, and it has to do with economics. Anyway, moving along, the World Economic Forum publishes crypto asset regulation and recommendations for the government and for the industry. So this is pretty interesting news here. We'll get into it. They've released a white paper, the World Economic Forum. They've said that in that white paper, crypto assets and their ecosystem do not always fit squarely into the existing activity-based intermediary-focused approach of regulation, even where crypto assets activities mirror those of traditional financial sector. So they're seeing some mismatch, and they want to do what they can to help wade in and solve this. Agile regulation is kind of their solution over at the WEF. Agile regulation adopts a responsive, iterative approach, acknowledging that policy and regulatory development is no longer limited to government, but is increasingly a multi-stakeholder effort. Regulatory sandboxes, guidance, and regulators, no objection letters were cited as examples of an agile regulatory approach. So, Piper, I want to go ahead and throw it over to you really quickly. What do you think of this phrase here that regulation is no longer limited to governments, but is increasingly a multi-stakeholder effort? What does that mean? And is that just saying the quiet part out loud?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. I think someone is saying the quiet, uh, the implied task is being voiced now. So, let's see here. Guidance regulated, no objection letters were cited.
It's kind
It
of
sounds to
strange.
me like a bunch of political talk.
Yeah, it sounds to me like they're thinly veiling here that they are very interested in helping regulate crypto globally.
Well,
And
of course they would be because the WEF wants to control everything, so why not crypto? So,
mhm, yeah, so agile regulation, guys, that might be a term to keep an ear out for if you hear that. Not I'm not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing at this point. It's actually something that I've thought about for a while. Is that corporations, especially American corporations, have grown so big and so influential, especially in America, that there's actually a decent argument for the fact that we are no longer regulated by a government. We're no longer regulated by a non-corporate entity. We're regulated. The United States and the West is essentially regulated in tandem, in close coordination with the industries that it's regulating, and it's in to some extent it's always been that way, right? As soon as I build the railroads across the United States, I'm going to turn around and say, hey, government, we need to regulate so that basically nobody can compete with me. But it's for the good of the people, right? So that's not anything new, right? What is new is this agile regulation is basically an acknowledgement that the government is just another party in the conversation of regulation, and that the speed of regulation is really the more important thing than maybe even the regulation itself. So we shall see. There's going to be a lot of commentary about this going back and forth. More than likely, will we see agile regulation? What even is that? We shall see, but definitely going to be keeping an ear and an eye out for that. Well, Binance is also looking into the future, and they've brought it home. Binance announces a new non-fungible token borrowing program, the Binance NFT Loan. So, according to a new Binance announcement, the platform will offer zero gas fees and the ability to borrow Ethereum without the need to sell assets. So that could be pretty big for the NFT crowd. I'm kind of curious as whether or not they're going to have this activated for CNFTs. I know we've got a lot of CNFT fans, a lot of big fans of the inmates community. So that's one that I've been seeing a lot. I know Alex Green is very involved in that. So we'll see if Binance offers and extends this to other blockchains other than just Ethereum, either now or in the future. Very, very interesting. Maybe even ordinals, maybe even Bitcoins, NFTs. All right, now we're going to move into a confusing story, but an important story because it has to do with freezing accounts. So, New York City Commission votes to halt deposits at Capital One. So the existing accounts will be used to make payments, but no additional deposits will be made, nor will new accounts be opened at either bank. And then leading us to this is the city commission's designation process. Conclusion. They've concluded that they are not taking meaningful action to combat discrimination. So the banks are not taking meaningful action to combat discrimination in their operations and are not responsible stewards of public dollars. So this is as close to the actual facts and details as Piper and I were able to get this morning. It's very confusing, but essentially this is what says it all: is that you can't. If I'm a user a customer of the banks in question here are Capital One, and then there's another one, Key Bank, and then there's a few other that aren't listed, but Key Bank and Capital One. If I'm a customer of either one of those banks, I can continue to spend money with my cards, but I can't deposit new funds, and I also can't have my brother come in and make a new account. So basically, there's clearly some kind of city bank rivalry going on in New York. We're not really sure how this would affect the wider banking sector, but I don't know of anything like this that's happened. I mean, if Capital One is clearly out of compliance and they're only hiring a certain demographic and they're refusing to hire outside of that demographic, I suppose the city of New York has grounds to take this type of action. But more than likely, guys, this is just some kind of infighting in the New York political scene, and it's kind of manifesting itself here on the retail space because folks are not going to be able to open up new accounts with the bank that they use. So very strange headlines there, but they're all over the news this morning. So I think the big thing is that New York City government is freezing accounts, right? Anytime there's New York freezing and bank accounts in the same headline, it's going to get circulated. But here's another pretty big headline. Elon Musk brain implant company Neuralink announces FDA approval for inhuman clinical studies. Very controversial, and this is where we might park it here. This is the result of incredible work by the Neuralink team in close collaboration with the FDA and represents an important first few steps that will one day allow our technology to help many people, the company wrote. Neuralink is part of an emerging brain-computer interface, or BCI, industry. A BCI is a new acronym you need to know, and it's also a system that deciphers brain signals and translates them into commands for external technologies. Neuralink is perhaps the best-known name in the space of BCI, thanks to the high-profile Elon Musk. Maybe you've heard of him. Let's see. Yeah, so that's going to be the story there. Elon. Piper, I want to throw it to you. What do you think about this? What the heck is going on with Neuralink? Is this something you're in favor of, or is this something that you want to see the brakes heavily applied to?
I think there needs to be a crap ton of testing on this before they start messing with people's brains. The neuro side of the brain is very delicate and very can be messed up horribly bad. But I do think the technology is intriguing. When you think about the reaction times of, like, for example, paralysis and stuff like that, there's like massive lag. That's what creates the inability to move your muscles, right? It's just a neuro issue. So maybe this can lead to some breakthrough medical science that could help, people that don't have mobility or have mobility issues and stuff like that. But I'd like to see, what the pros are versus the cons. I think
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of things that can be manipulated and messed with on this. I mean, for example, what's the security level on a chip in the brain? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want some hacker, because I got a chip in my brain to help me drive my car better. I can drive just fine without a chip. Thanks. I think the
Mm-hmm.
technology is there for other stuff, but as far as unnecessary things and having a chip in your brain, it's not important. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we did have a super chat, by the way. I don't know if
Okay.
you're at a pause point on your headlines, but we did have a super chat from Grant F.
Yeah.
We appreciate that, man. Thank you for the super chat. He said, thoughts on Pangolin PNG. It's an AVAX top decks. $5 was the all-time high. I'm not seeing the $5 all-time high. It's obviously on one of the decentralized exchanges before, but I'm looking at it over here on chart on Coinbase right now. So let me jump into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show you what I'm seeing over here, guys. Right now, we are finding a little bit of support after this downtrend sell indicator. I'm going to have to sneeze. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. I felt that coming on. I was fighting it off. All right, so we got a sell indicator here, and we came down underneath our lower trade band of the predictive ranges right there. Created a breaker block once we broke through there on a previous order block. Right now, guys, we are in a downtrend on this prime trend assistant here, and it's not looking very strong. I mean, the cloud's getting tight on the oscillator. Money flow does look like it may be coming up a little bit, but we keep showing divergences, getting us wick up and then coming back down again. A lot of things above it right now. I don't know. I think I would wait to see, and I'm looking at a 12-hour on this. I think I would wait to see what you have out there for information in the days ahead. But right now, it's not looking very strong. We're actually making lower lows, which is an exact opposite of what's going on in the market. We haven't broken lower lows on anything else out there right now. So let's look at the daily. See how the daily's looking here. Yeah, even the daily's looking weak. It's still got room to come down here. It does look like it's got a move coming, but even money flow right now is starting to curve here on the daily and start to come back down too. So I'd be very careful with this asset. Um, it's got great potential, but right now it's not showing enough structure to say that potential is anytime soon. So
Yeah. I'm putting the poll in now, so we'll see what folks are thinking. Will the market close higher or lower? We'll see. But yeah, so we do have one last story here, and I got to give my take on the brain chip stuff going on. My take is I talk to a lot of people about this technology, and there's a lot of impulsive thoughts and a lot of impulsive opinions. And we're a show, so we have to give our thoughts and opinions immediately. But I hear a lot of people saying, going to a religious context very quickly. Oh, there's this can't be good for religious reasons, or this I would never have the, like Crypto Seth just said, he would never have it put in his brain. I think that I want to take some time to kind of see how this develops before I make up my mind. I mean, it's a radical new technology, and there's a lot of people who probably looked at the computer and said, I don't ever want to use a computer. I know my grandfather did, actually. He worked in sales. He used a computer for a long time, and he said, I never want to use a computer again. And I don't think he ever did. Right. So people, that now obviously someone could come back and say, well, this is way different from a computer because they're putting it in your brain. And I admit, yeah, definitely. What I will say though is, consider that we have had cochlear implants, for people who have not been able to hear, but have the potential to. There's thousands and thousands of people who've been able to hear because of a brain inserted chip. I don't know that it's anywhere near. It's definitely not anywhere near the level of sophistication of what Neuralink is going to be, right? But if that's a deciding factor, just know that there has been, brain penetrating technology for a long time. Again, I'm not saying I'm pro this. I'm just saying, the person who's behind this, Elon Musk, he's someone who I admire. I admire his aspirations to go into space, to try to solve, you know, vehicles, electronic vehicles, try to solve for that. Right? If you look at the big body of his work, he's someone who's trying to do the right thing in my eyes. Right? So I want to give it the benefit of the doubt before I say I would never do it. But right now, I got to be honest, I'm definitely leaning away from it. Like I wouldn't want that right now. I certainly wouldn't want to be in the first 100,000 people to try it. So that's kind of my take on it. All right, last story here, guys. JP Morgan is developing a chat GPT like AI service that gives investment advice. So, you know how we always have to say not financial advice? Well, JP Morgan doesn't have to because they're literally financial advisors. So they're developing a chat GPT. What could this mean for the financial advice industry? Who knows? All of your tax advisors, all of your business finance advisors, those guys could be unemployed overnight potentially by a technology like this. So we shall see what ends up happening. On the flip side, businesses and individuals could be getting way cheaper financial advice and financial decision making through JP Morgan's new technology. So we'll see. That's being brought to you by CNBC.com. Well, Piper, I'll go ahead and throw it over to you to close out the show. But perhaps you could share your opinion on that. I mean, do you think that you would ever use a ChatGPT to help you make financial advice? Have you already done that with the regular
Um,
ChatGPT?
no, I have not because I know that there's some delays in what data it has access to, but
Hmm.
I do think there is a place for it once that data gets updated and it's real time information.
Hmm.
I have used Chat GPT to, help me put together some stuff that I'm just going to be doing with a live stream, stuff like that. But that's because it doesn't need real time data; it just needs alpha. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it's got a future. I think information availability. I mean, look how much smarter. Well, I guess in some ways we got dumber too, but look how much more knowledgeable. There's the word. People can become just by simply having access to a computer and your phone all the time, right? There was a time that we had to go get these books called
Hmm.
encyclopedias. Some people out there may have never seen them. They were very expensive and they were huge. And if you didn't have that, you had the library. Now you have information at your fingertips, and I think the potential of Chat GPT hand feeding you information that you need to know would be a big thing as long as it's hand feeding you non-biased information. That would be my catch on it. So we've already
Hmm.
seen that Chat GPT has some bias when you ask it questions. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's going to wrap us out, guys. Piper, why don't you go ahead and take it from here?
yeah, if you guys haven't done so yet, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button down below. Let everyone know that you like this content. Let YouTube know that you like this content, and we appreciate your little quick use of your muscle right there. Just a little quick click, just hit it one time. We'll appreciate you forever for that one little moment of your effort there. If you haven't shared this with your friends, let them know that we're doing this every Monday through Friday, except for next Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday, except for next Monday. And we will catch you guys next week on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Trade safe out there. Thanks for joining us for Investing Bros. We'll see you all in the Discord. And if we don't see you there, we'll see you next Tuesday. Peace.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shouted out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.
Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros.